Number 4, the main thing that's going to determine whether home workouts work out for you is the program quality. So earlier I mentioned Body by Amy, which is what my sister was doing at home. She's on YouTube, and I actually think she's pretty dope. Problem is, and it's not really a problem, following workouts from people online is kind of like going to a fitness dance class. I didn't think I was going to touch on this live, but I'm going to touch on it. So on Instagram right now, there is a trainer. I can't remember his name, but he's going pretty viral right now because he is telling women what they need to hear without any sugarcoating on it. And I'm like, damn, sometimes I wish I was a man, because whenever I talk to women like that, they get mad. But if men talk to us like that, we're like, oh, that's how a coach is supposed to be. That's another one of my frustrations I deal with, but whatever. So he's basically saying, he's like, black women, I love y'all, but the reason why y'all don't have the results that you want is because you don't want to listen to nobody. Your coach tells you to do this, and you're like, nah, I'm gonna do this. Your coach tells you to go lift weights, you're like, well, I'm gonna go to my dance class. And that has been such a big frustration for me as a trainer, because I get it. The dance classes are fun. You see people online doing them. Everybody's jumping high. And you know, black folks, we love to dance. I get it. But that's not how you build muscle. And so when you're at home and you're doing these Body by Amy workouts, or you're doing lightweight workouts, or you're doing stuff that doesn't actually challenge your body, you're building some really good cardiovascular health. And that is great, but you're not building muscle. Maybe the first 2 sessions, you might build some muscle fibers that weren't there before, but after a while, all you're doing is cardio. Unless you can progressively overload. Like week 1, I do the dance with no weights. Week 2, I do the dance with 5-pound weights. Week 3, I do 8. You see what I'm saying? But if it's every week the same resistance band, every week the same, I'm doing 30 minutes, or I'm doing, like, it's the same. It's not a challenge anymore. Case in point, I worked at NBC Sports Girl Universal. That place had 4 levels. I would leave work and have 22,000 steps some days. There were 2 people I worked with. 2 overweight people, 1 male, 1 female. They both were pushing, if not at 300 pounds. 1 woman lost 300 pounds just working at our venue. A man, the other person, did not lose any weight. In fact, I think he gained weight. Why? Because for this woman who had gone from being sedentary to walking 22,000 steps a day, that was challenging her body more than it had before. The gentleman, however, who was doing the same amount of steps as she was, he just kept eating more. So what happened? His body, like, your body will match your energy. So like, instead of him losing weight because he was more active, it just kind of stayed the same because it wasn't really challenging his body, because his body has taken in all these additional calories. So it was just kind of evening out. And when we do stuff like overeat and not track our food because we think that tracking food is triggering, same people that don't want to track food also happen to be the same people that oftentimes don't want to be on top of their finances because it's triggering. And I know, because numbers used to be a big trigger for me. But what you resist will persist. And I promise you, every female over the years that I've worked with that has taken what I've given them and it was like, hey, I'm going to do my own thing instead. And I'm like, okay, do you? Is still dealing with the same issues, because you can't go around this. Just like there's no shortcuts to success. There's hacks, there's tips, there's tricks, but you cannot get past learning nutrition. You cannot get past learning how to exercise. If you've been a client of mine for years and on your own, you don't know how to build your own workout program, read labels, understand nutrition, in my eyes, I feel like I failed you. Unless it's just on you. But I do everything I can to provide people with these resources, because capitalism is something that I have such mixed feelings about. One, it gives me the freedom to invest and do the things and help the communities that I want to. But on the other hand, it has done a number on me and the communities that I love. And I've seen humans be exploited. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to be in business. I want to make money, but I also don't want to have to make it so that you need me for the rest of your life. I want to make it so that if you want to stay as a client and continue to grow and learn as I grow and learn, let's do it together, baby girl. That's what the membership is for, right? But if you have no idea what to do when you're done working with a trainer, if you haven't learned anything, if you're just in there, a lot of people will treat me as just a personal trainer. They're like, all right, come do my workouts for me. And I'm like, hey, I wrote you this wonderful program. No, I don't want to do that. Hey, just come work me out. I'm like, hey, I wrote you this beautiful nutrition program. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. The more you treat your workouts as just a way to burn calories, the more you treat your trainers or your programs as just like, I may look at that, but I'm not going to, what you resist will persist. I can tell you that on my fitness journey. I can tell you that in my business. Everything that I knew I was supposed to do that I didn't want to do because it was hard, it didn't go away. It just came back later on. You're like, oh, shit, you're still, yeah, you're never going to achieve your fitness goals by, instead of learning nutrition, you're like, well, I'm gonna do Weight Watchers. And I'm not trying to knock you for doing those things because you're just trying to do what you can with what you have. But at the end of the day, we have to be real about what it is that we need. And if what we need is to go a little harder, if what we need is to be a little more consistent, if what we need is someone breaking this down for us and checking back in with us and reinforcing that we're doing it and tweaking it when it's not working and making it harder for us when we've met our goals and bringing it down a notch when we're not doing so well, if that's what you need, then baby girl, you need to go get that for yourself. Or get to take the time to teach it to yourself. Women do it all of the time, but a lot of people also don't. It's kind of like hair. You can either learn how to do your natural black hair, or you can go pay someone else to do that for you. You can either learn how to, I don't want you pulling out your own teeth. But you see what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that it's okay to let someone help you, especially if you don't have the time to do it. All right, I'm going to wrap it up with the best bet for people working out at home. Best bet. Okay, so if you're working out at home and you want to do body recomposition, I need you to have actual heavy weights that are going to help you build that muscle. If not, then you're at home doing weight loss. Okay, unless you have like gym equipment at home and you're able to progressively overload and you're going to follow a program that you have to help yourself progressively overload, you're probably not building muscle at home doing body weight workouts or lightweight workouts. You're doing weight loss, and that's okay. But just know at some point you're going to need to go to the gym, or you're going to need to invest in heavier weights or a weight rack or a cable thing or something so that you can continue to build actual muscle. It's number one. So if you are at home body weight, you get to do total body daily. If you were at a gym, that would be out of control. But if you're at home doing body weight exercises and your goal is to lose weight, you get to do total body daily. Why, coach? Why would I do total body daily and not do a leg day, upper body day? Well, I'll tell you why. When you're doing total body exercises, you're burning more calories because all of your body is working. Don't believe me? Put your watch on during an upper body day versus a lower body day. For me, there's usually like a good 100 to maybe even 300 calorie difference between my upper body days versus my lower body days. Why? Because these legs can push 500 plus pounds on the leg press, and my upper body is still struggling to get 135 pounds up on a bench press. The more muscles that need to be used to do a movement, the more calories you're gonna burn. And that's why when you're only doing, God, I've been seeing these girls do these Pilates things, and they just, and there's nothing wrong with Pilates, but like they'll do their 5-pound curls and they'll be doing it for weeks, they'll be doing it for months on end. And I'm just like, if your goal is to lose weight, you would have a better use of your time by doing stuff that is gonna use your whole body. So total body daily, if you're at home trying to lose weight, that's how you're gonna get the most bang for your buck. Number two, if you have less weight or you don't have any weights or whatever, slow down. Okay, instead of bouncing up and down while you do your squats, I want you to focus on inhaling, bracing your core, and then going down nice and slowly, keeping your heels on the ground, and then exhale as you come up 5 minutes and then coming up. Okay, I want you to focus on form. I want you to focus on breathing, and I want you to focus on maybe counting 3 seconds down. 1, 2, 3. You do 15 squats at 3 seconds down and 3 seconds up. Trust me, you're gonna feel that burn. And with your core braced, now you got everybody working. Whereas before, when you were flying through your squats, your legs were just working. All right, next, if you're at home losing weight and that's your game plan, walk a lot. Walking is not some magical thing that's gonna make you lose weight, but walking is going to add to the amount of calories that your body burns in a day. And I'm using my TikTok, what is this shit called? It's a raised desk that I got off of my TikTok shop. Yes, it's in my TikTok shop. And I use it, I stand up and work. Why? Because the more that you're seated, right? Think of it like this. Think of your body like a car. So if your car is sitting in park, it's burning gas, but not as much as it would if you were flying down the highway. Same thing with your body. If you were seated for the majority of the day, yes, you're burning calories, but it's almost like your body goes into power save mode and slows down how many calories it's burning. And so if you're standing up, you've got more muscles that have to be awake, active, and being used. So that's more work your body has to do just by standing up. And it gives your metabolism, if you will, the cue like, hey, don't slow down because we're active, we're up, we're moving. But when you sit down for hours on end, it tells your body, we don't really need to burn as much gas, go into low power save mode. This is why your metabolism is slow. It's not because of hereditary or because you're 40. It's because you sit all day and your body has learned. Your body matches your energy. So if you're someone that is not active and doesn't move a lot, it doesn't need to burn a lot of calories. On the other hand, if you're someone that gets up and takes walks, if you're someone that walks a lot, if you're someone that drinks a lot of water and therefore has to get up and go to the bathroom often to pee, if you're someone that takes stairs when they could take an elevator, if you're someone that parks where they see the first spot instead of circling for 15 minutes to find a close-up spot, like there's little things that you can do to make yourself more active without becoming a fitness enthusiast. My son used to walk my dogs for literally, like he'd take them out to pee and poop and then that was it. So I took over that. And now in the morning before 9 o'clock hits, I've got almost 2,000 steps because I walk my dogs myself and I walk them separately. This is a privilege. Okay. I work from home. I have my own business. So like I get that that's not an option for everybody. But one thing that will help you is to start seeing areas where you can do something versus focusing on the area that you can't do something, right? A lot of when I give people suggestions, well, I can't do that because of this, or I can't do that because of this. And as long as you have this trapped mindset of, well, I can't do that because of this, then you will always be in the position of someone who can't do that because of this. When you switch your mind to, well, I can't do that, but what can I do? I can't do that, but perhaps, you know what I'm saying? Like change the way that you view your situation because that's what's going to change the situation. Majority of the time we stay stuck in situations because of the way that we are viewing and the way that we are framing it. When you view yourself as victim or powerless and you don't have any options and I don't have money and I don't have time, this and that, then your brain kind of shuts down because you have told it you don't have anything. Where on the flip side, if you're like, I don't have this, but I don't have this yet, right? So now your brain is opened up to explore possibilities versus before the language that you were using, shut it down. I got off on a tangent. So we talked about use total body workouts daily if you're at home. Slow down your reps, focus on time under tension, and walk a lot. Stay active. And then my last one, if you're going to be working out at home and you're serious about building muscle, get a barbell. Somebody on Facebook Marketplace has a barbell for cheaper than Amazon. If you're gonna do dumbbells, I recommend getting like one heavy one medium one light one. Again, Facebook Marketplace. You can buy them brand new if you want to, but Facebook Marketplace. And then if you're gonna do kettlebells, same thing, one light, one medium, one heavy. Light ones are gonna be for your shoulder exercises because it'll be a snowball, like it'll be a cold day in hell before you just go pick up a 20-pound dumbbell and start, kettlebell and start, you know what I'm saying? So a light kettlebell could be anything from like 5 pounds, 7.5, 8, okay? And then a medium weight one would be anything like 15, 20 pounds. And then a heavy one could be something like 25, 30, 35, 40, somewhere in there. Kettlebells, you don't have to go as heavy because they are demons. We'll talk about that in another episode. Kettlebells, you can get yourself a 5, 10, and a 15, a 5, 15, and a 30, whatever. But these are the tools that I think would work best for you. And then last but not least, bands. I have a pack of bands. I did a live with them. Oh, shit. And I did some exercises with them. These are also in my TikTok shop. This one is one that I use for just about everything. This is a warm up for my shoulders, warm up for my knees. I've got some lighter ones that are better for my shoulders. And then I have some really thick, heavy ones that I use for assisted pull-ups for my clients. Get those because depending on where you hold them, it could be really tight or it could be really, really heavy. So that can help you, progress your workouts over time without having to buy more dumbbells. Okay, I think I have said plenty, and I hope that you got value from this podcast today. Oh my God, the fitness center is closed in my neighborhood due to plumbing issues. Typical. Anywho, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This episode is going to be downloaded and uploaded to my YouTube on the Breakdown with Bonds. I haven't made this an actual podcast yet on what is that thing called, Spotify and Apple, but that's on my to-do list to make sure that that's up there. If you're tuning in and you wanted to support the show or support what we're doing, on my TikTok shop, I have plenty of things on there that you can look through, but also your girl's getting ready to open a women's only studio here in Orlando. And right now we are fundraising for the startup cost, making sure that we don't get into this building and end up in over our heads. And I have a link called Buy Me a Coffee. It's a really cool link that I've heard about where you can support creators. They do take a larger chunk out than like you selling the business directly, but whatever. I'm not here for that. You guys, if you want to help, but check out the links for the equipment that I've talked about in here. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube or follow me on YouTube. I'll drop that in there. And yeah, I will see you guys next time as we slowly get used to making these episodes more frequently and showing up on your feed again as often as I used to. So until next time on the Breakdown with Bonds, I will see you. Peace, love, and protein. Yeah, we're still on live on Facebook. How do I make this end?